Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and good afternoon to you all. I hope you are all doing well. The support continues to come in, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Please do smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. Today, unfortunately, we're going to be talking about, our enemy, Victor Orta, the guy that ran this club into the ground and saw us relegated from the Premier League. That may sound a little bit crazy to some, but ultimately, he cost Bielsa his job by not giving him the tools that he needed. He made crazy transfer decisions in the end. And Radrizzani takes a hell of a lot of blame, of course, because he gave him the keys to Ellen Road and let him run upshot. And he's been doing talking again. Why? I don't know. Why he feels the need to speak on Leeds United now. I guess if it was in a positive light, I could understand it. He's somehow managed to spin this story into a positive. Basically, he's been speaking in Portugal this week, ultimately saying that Leeds United did have the opportunity to sign Victor Gyokeres and decided against that, and felt for some crazy reason, folks, that Gio Rutter was the right fit for Leeds United at a time where we were crying out for a number 9. Victor Gyokeres, yes, probably no one expected him to do as well as he did. That is fair enough. You can give him a little bit of leeway with that. But he was a guy that was smashing it in the Championship, scoring goals for fun, had done it in English football, was the profile of player that Leeds United needed at that time, and decided to say that ultimately the price, which, by the way, was 14 million euros, you can see here, when I was at Leeds United, I didn't want to give 14 million for him. Instead, we spent 30 million on Gio Rutter. Now, please hear me. I'm not rewriting history on Gio here, but he wasn't the right player. And if you were to give me an option now, if I could turn back time, and I had an opportunity to sign Gyokeres or Rutter, who are you signing? Be honest with yourself. You're signing Gyokeres. He's a number 9. He scores goals in England. He's what we need. Not a guy who was a winger /10, who was unproven, very young, had never played in England before. And ultimately, as we saw, Big Sam, I mean, not that he's the wealth of all knowledge, said he wasn't ready, and he wasn't. It took us another 6 months before we saw the real Gio. And now he's doing bits at Brighton. But at that time, he wasn't what we needed. Had we have stayed in the Premier League, you could have said, right, okay, yeah, astute business. He'd have still licked it up maybe this following season. But at that time, we needed a 9. The fact that he's speaking and trying to put this in sort of like a good light, he said, cases like that of Gyokeres are the good surprise that football gives us. Those things that we cannot measure, as though like, oh, look, it wasn't my problem that he went on to be amazing. And, as we know, Gyokeres is now regarded as one of the hottest strikers in the world game with, you hear that right, 100 million euros release clause. Manchester United could be potentially looking at him. And this is where it gets really frustrating for me, because this isn't the first time. This isn't the second time. I'm going to share with you now like 5 examples. And there's still more that I'll have forgot. As I was preparing the video, I thought, I forgot about Gakpo. There's even more names to this list. And I want you to, if I've forgotten any, to put in the comments which other players that Leeds United were close to signing for whatever reason didn't get over the line. And ultimately, even the decision, and we're going to move on to this next one now, actually, right? I wasn't even privy to this information. We're going to head over to the Square Ball. Great content, great lads, amazing, pinnacle. Listen to this on Leeds United's transfer decision when we got promoted, when we were looking for a striker. I'm going to hit play on it now and give you my opinion straight after. It's mental.
When we got promoted, there was a lot of talk about, the club are going to target the best of the Football League. And it was like Ollie Watkins and Eze and players like that. And then,
well, we had Ollie Watkins in the room. This is the thing. We had him in there. I think he'd been up for, he got as far as medical maybe.
Wow.
And then they decided, no, we'll take Rodrigo instead. He was 30.
Again, you can hear the disdain in Dan's voice. In what world was Rodrigo, and I know he became a little bit of a fan favourite towards the end, but in what world was Rodrigo a better choice than Ollie Watkins at that time for what Leeds United needed? Now, some might say, no, hindsight, he was Spain's number 9, etc. But like Dan just said, he was 30-year-old. He was on a downward trajectory. Ollie Watkins was on an upward trajectory. Where's Rodrigo now? He's over in, in an Arab country. Ollie Watkins is playing Champions League football, leading the line for Aston Villa, leading the line at times for England, scoring goals, pressing like an absolute machine. Had we have signed him, that was the right profile. That was the right player. We know under the manager at the time as well, of course, Jesse Marsh, to be fair to him, unlocked Rodrigo for a period of time. Just everyone else was shite. But at that time, Ollie Watkins was what we needed. I didn't even know as far as it had got that close. He was here. He was in Leeds United's hands. He was there. And we opted to sign a 30-year-old Rodrigo. Honestly, the transfer decisions by this man is crazy. Borough fans warned us. They warned us. We should have listened. We definitely should have listened. But it went well for a while. But that, again, for me, it was down to Bielsa. Bielsa was the one that hid all these cracks. Because that there as well is an insane decision, by the way. You can come on with like Spain's number 9, etc. But look now, had we have signed Ollie Watkins, what position would we have been in? Would we still be in the Premier League? With these other additions, Gyokeres, for example, would he have kept us up? We'd have had a much better chance than playing, Rutter. That goes without saying. We were having to rely on Bamford. Does Gyokeres miss that chance against Leicester? Does Gyokeres miss the penalty against Newcastle? Nope. Leeds United could still be a Premier League club had he have made the right decision. On Gyokeres, to say 40 million euros was too much and then spend 30 on Rutter, that is insane. To opt for a 30-year-old aging footballer over Ollie Watkins, who was in the door, again, is insane. It almost feels like he was presented with an opportunity and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, a reclamation project. I'm going to get this. He's Spain's number 9. It's all bullshit. Honestly, it's crazy. Another one who went on to be a World Cup winner, folks. World Cup winner, Rodrigo de Paul. For a period of time, Leeds fans had copium saying, no, it was never in the door. We could have signed and should have signed Rodrigo de Paul. He was flirting for Leeds United. There was an opportunity to get him through the door. That guy's a World Cup winner. It's insane that Leeds United dropped the ball on so many players. I don't even know we ended up with instead of him. But we know that the midfield acquisitions under Victor Orta, did we even buy one under Bielsa? No, we did under Jesse, and they were all gash. I did like Tyler Adams for a period of time, but he's a walking injury. Josko Gvardiol. He could have been another at Leeds United. My man's winning Premier Leagues, operating in the Champions League, scores goals for fun. Another one that Leeds United couldn't convince to come to the Premier League. You can talk about him, I might stay at Leipzig and all that. Get the deal done. Because look at the price and the profile of these players now. In the World Cup that Argentina won, he was unbelievable. He got twisted up by Messi, but outside of that, he was absolutely unbelievable. He goes to City. He scores goals for fun. Again, another that slipped through the net. Another I want to share again. Forgive me, folks, for the quality on this video. The Daily Leeds. Do you remember when I used to do the Leeds news? I used to do it every day when I first started out my own channel. And we were linked to Kvicha Kvaradona. He was another that could have been in the door. The agent spoke to Leeds. So here is that name, guys. Kvicha. It's a beauty, isn't it? Kvicha Kvaradona. It's not too bad there, Joe. I don't think you've done too bad for yourself, lad. But the sound's brutal. The latest link. And this one seems to be pretty far down the road, if I'm being totally honest, guys. We have heard from a well-respected journalist on the continent
saying that there is incredible, great interest in the player.
And ultimately, that was another player that Leeds United could have signed. This guy, exactly. I mean, he's at Napoli. You don't call him Kvaradona if he's a bad player. I think he will end up in the Premier League, if you want my honest opinion, and absolutely kill it. You know, this talk of him, you know, coming to City. Could he rock up at Liverpool? You know, all these names. It's mad. And on Liverpool as well, how can we forget the fiasco that was Cody Gakpo? Victor Orta somehow spent like 24 hours over in Holland on deadline day and still didn't manage to get him done. Like, I don't know what the feck happened there either. You know, 6 months later, he's at Liverpool. And, you know, they thought, oh, he's not that good. Under Slot, he will unlock him even more, and we'll see the player that we wanted initially. But honestly, some of these transfer decisions are absolutely insane. I do want to ask you, which of these is the biggest miss? Which of these that I've mentioned, and please do throw some more in the hat as well if you can remember any. Is it Ollie Watkins? Is it Victor Gyokeres? Is it Rodrigo de Paul, Gvardiol, Kvaratskhelia, Cody Gakpo? Which one of them would have had the biggest impact? I think for me, considering where we were at the time, it's a toss-up between Ollie Watkins and Gyokeres. Ollie Watkins maybe was still in the Premier League and not even in relegation battles, and I think he would have been the perfect fall for what Bielsa wanted from his front man, because we see it week in, week out. He's a little less selfless now. You know, Unai Emery spoke about this on his game, tells him to stay central, don't chase everything down, but he does have that in his locker, and he would have been perfect for Bielsa. Or is it Gyokeres, knowing now what we know, and obviously the situation that we're in? I'm not for Ollie Watkins, because I don't even think we're in that situation if we sign Ollie, because he works under Bielsa, and Rodrigo just didn't. So yeah, I think for me, Ollie Watkins, but some of these decisions are insane. They're absolutely insane. So I want to know from you in the comments, which one of these Victor Orta fuck-ups is what they are, was the worst. Of course, he gave us Rafinha. Of course, you know, we picked up Chris Somerville. There were some good ones in there. But for him to come out and now be talking about Leeds again and saying that the decision to sign Rutter over Gyokeres is somehow a good decision, I don't know. Honestly, the guy knows no bounds. Just shut up. I mean, he'll probably be set. They hate him over in Sevilla as well. Like, this is what he does, right? Goes, gets hated, moves on. I sort of wish he'd have gone to Chelsea when they were linked to him, to be honest. Could have run them into the ground as well. But hey ho, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great day, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds.